It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hello, model citizens. Welcome to my Junction. Tonight on Trains and Tech, I've got a little smorgasbord of items, but we are going to assemble a T-Trak module by the end of this stream, as long as I don't get too distracted by all of the other things going on. And speaking about all of the other things going on, I don't know. I got stuff happening. That's as I bang into it, this is the mess we're gonna work on later. Got a couple things over here on the bench. As usual, the room's an absolute mess, but you know, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Oh, what happened, Mike? While Mike's getting back to us, is Thomas Grassi here by any chance? Thomas was asking about Deluxe Materials Track Magic. I was telling him about it. If he actually ever sees this, this is what I was talking about, just so he knows. And yes, the room is a workbench. I mean, that's a, you know, it's a TV table, right? I mean, there should be a TV dinner on there, but there's not. But I do have a package, and this package has a story. You see, last week, as you guys remember, I opened up this guy right here, which is a little Riverside transfer box cab that Cameron from Caboose 121 sent me. And he told me that the couplers that I need are Microtrains 1130s to swap them. And I knew when he said that, I said, I have 1130 couplers because I just bought some recently because somebody told me that this unit right here, I guess we can do this easier, this unit right here takes 1130 couplers. Well, unfortunately, I took off one of the couplers. I don't know, maybe you can see this guy's missing over here, but took off the couplers and figured out that the 1130 is not the right coupler for this. So that didn't work. But I was very excited because now the 1130 couplers that I bought for this project that now didn't work for this project, well, I could just pull those out and use those on the box cab. But as you can see, there's a box on the table. So why would I need a new box if I already had the couplers? And I just a couple weeks ago worked on this other project. So it's not like I would have already not remembered. Sorry, now I knocked it down over here. It's not as if I would have already not remembered where I put those 1130 couplers. So, of course, I dug in and went looking through every bin, every drawer, every place that I could have thought of as to where those 1130 couplers were. And I don't know. I put them in a safe spot so that, yeah, I wouldn't lose them. Apparently, that's correct. I put them in a safe spot. So safe that even I couldn't find them. So we got a box to open. So let's get into it. Let's open this box and let's see what's in here. But I guess the moral of the story is I've got way too much stuff, right? So I do, the Sunrise Trail Division, which is my division of the NMRA, is having their fall meet. And I printed out their white elephant table registration form, and there's enough room for 20 items. So I suspect I'm going to fill this sheet up with miscellaneous stuff and hopefully get rid of some stuff that I have bought multiples of because I keep losing stuff, and I don't, like, I didn't hide it. It's like I left them in a very safe spot so that I would know exactly, I don't know. I'm looking around as if like they're gonna like pop out at me, but so I placed an order. I placed another order. Now, the funny part about this order is I suspect that by the time I actually get to swapping the couplers, I'm probably going to forget where I put these as well, because I've got an ops weekend. Actually, this weekend I'm going to one op session. The weekend after that, I think it is, I'm going to Minneapolis, Minnesota. And then the weekend after that is the Sunrise Trail Division thing. So I probably won't get to putting these couplers on for another 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, it's very likely I will be doing another stream exactly like this, trying to find this box and not being able to find it. Yeah, no, I'm not going to the NER convention. The NER convention, I believe, is the same weekend, if I'm not mistaken, as Minrail. And I'm gonna go operate. So we'll see. Dave, if you make it up to Minneapolis, it would be great to see you. Just like it's always great to see Frank. Oh, it's this weekend? Yeah, NER conventions are very expensive. So no, not going to the NER convention. Saving up my money to go to ops weekends. I guess that's kind of I don't know. I fell down the ops rabbit hole, so I kind of wanna go to these ops weekends. And I know Op Around the Clock is still coming up, so. Now this is a real box. It's actually a real thing. Ed is already at the NER convention. It's only Wednesday, Ed. What in the world are you doing already at the convention? So in this box that we ordered duplicates of things that we already have. So my theory whenever I'm buying something is always, don't waste a good opportunity to spend some shipping. Drop a lot more money on things that I don't need, on things that I won't be able to find them when I need them. So in addition to what I need, I bought lots of other things as well. So let's get into it. So these are when I swap out trucks, these are the trucks that I swap out for. These are Barber roller bearing trucks, number 1037. There's 10 of them. They're already assembled, and sometimes when I just need to swap a truck and be done with it, these are what I'll put in. Any micro trains, boxcar, or anything that was made before 1996 has a slightly different style micro trains coupler, and it's not quite as easy to operate with than the post 1996 ones. So that's what these are. That's what I got. The trucks do include the wheels, although I will be swapping all of the wheels for metal wheels. So, it's kind of the way it is. But looks like the other thing I got is some empty brown paper, and then this is what I needed. This is the item that I'm going to lose, that I'm not going to be able to find. So the reason I bought what I bought is I got 3 packs here. So these are the 1130s. These are the ones that Cameron from Caboose 121 said are the correct couplers for this project. These are the long shank couplers, which, the long ones are probably better for switching on a tight switching layout because of all the curves, but I also got some medium ones and some short ones. I would love to be able to get away with using the short ones just because I do think they look better, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I am not looking forward to assembling the couplers. That's why I prefer just buying pre-assembled, even though they cost a little bit more. But yeah. Russ, thank you so much. If people don't know, I accidentally had a word banned, and that word happened to be HO. It was a mistake. So nobody could see Russ's posts for a while. And if I did things correctly, there should be a list scrolling through now that I just updated literally right before the stream. I know literally is like one of those overused words, but literally is what it is. It's the way it is. But yeah. So what am I talking about? I don't know. I only buy empty trucks without couplers now. Well, you're braver than I am because I hate putting them together. So real quick about ops weekends, just because there have been some comments, and I'll just give my experience. It's just my personal experience. Everybody has different experiences. But for example, Island Ops, which is my local ops weekend, you get to pick up to 4 sessions. So there's 4 sessions on the weekend, and at the last one, I held a rogue session. Sometimes other people do, so you could potentially have done 5. Mid-rail that I'm going to, I'm trying to remember how many sessions there are. I'm doing 1 Thursday night, 1 Friday afternoon, 1 Friday night, 2 on Saturday and 1 Sunday morning. So for Minrail, I'm doing 6. I might get a second one on Sunday in as well, which will be just another rogue session. So Minrail might get me 7 sessions. When I went to Bay Rails, I did 1 session before and 1 session after, and I think there were 3 in the middle, maybe 4 in the middle. I don't remember, but it was somewhere between 5 or 6 sessions. So in my experience, ops weekends, there's always opportunities for additional op sessions. And to be blunt about it, when you go to an NER convention, unfortunately, it costs money to run an NER convention, and NMRA conventions are to make the divisions and the regions money so that they can operate. So it's a good thing to go to support the divisions. That said, if you go to an NER convention, there is a quote like a fee to go. So it's like $150 or something like that to go to the convention. So in addition to the hotel and renting a car and all of that stuff, it's $150 to the NMRA. Whereas if you go to an ops weekend, generally if there's a charge, it's like, you know, $15 for a lunch or $50 for a dinner, or it's some like direct amount of money that goes towards food, and the people that host you generally do it voluntarily. So, well, not generally, in my experience, always. So an ops weekend revolving around only operations, the costs tend to be, in my experience, slightly lower. Being somebody of limited income, this year in particular, I've just been kind of saving my money. So what should we get into? Should we build a T-Trak module? I feel like we're going through tonight's stream very quickly. I will probably very soon run out of something to talk about, and we'll have to make something up once I run out, because I opened the box, I did that. Let's go sit down over here. And yes, I said sit down. I'm going to do something I don't usually do on live streams. If you don't know, I'm standing. I'm like a little marionette with strings. I find streaming while standing, it's the way I like to do it. I don't know, whatever. But I'm going to go sit down to work on this thing because, you know, that's what I do. So let's build a T-Trak module. If people don't know, and I'm hoping smarter people than I are here, there is I don't want to say there's a push, but there is a group of people kind of working to get more people involved in T-Trak and getting together and doing something. And maybe Dennis, or if Paul's still here, if somebody can like put the link in and do all like that important stuff, we'll do that. But this right here is a T-Trak module. If you don't know, it's a module that is N scale, works with Kato Unitrack, and the idea is that this is small enough that even somebody like me working on a TV tray can be involved in you know, modeling, and you can go to conventions with your module, and this is something small enough that you can carry and bring it and run trains, and it's a little bit kind of like just a you know, a social gathering, and you know, all that kind of stuff. John is asking about T-Rail versus T-Trak. At one point, there were a couple of different standards. There was N-Rail, there was T-Trak, and I think there was like one other. Recently, they all kind of got like combined together, to become N-rail. So there are still different standards, but they're trying to like bring it together. And Fremo N is another standard. So you know, different things are coming together. The way what is, I guess what's so interesting about T-Trak and why this has become, or this is a very popular standard, is you don't need legs, right? Like this is the whole thing. There's no legs to this. This is the whole kit and caboodle. The way these connect together is they would just sit on tables just like this, and the track, we'll get to this a little bit more in a second, but the track actually will overhang the module by about 1 millimeter, and that millimeter overhang will allow you to connect it to the track next to it. So I've got this part right here. I'm sure this is probably like the most important part of this entire T-Trak module, so I'll want to make sure I keep that safe. Let's see, here's the instructions. This kit comes from Klawndyke. I do have the website link down below. Let's see, what did I miss? Is T for tabletop? I have no idea. I don't know. I've actually, so this is, I think, my 9th T-Trak module or something like that. I thought when I initially started modeling in this space that I would never have enough room to actually have a layout. I thought that I would be limited to T-Trak modules. And I started building T-Trak modules, and it was fun, but I grew. So this is from Klawndyke. What did somebody say? Do you use UV glue? No UV glue. We're just going to use some Gorilla wood glue. And as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of a lot of glue, so expect a lot of glue. They don't have T-Trak modules in O-gauge, but I believe that there are standards, O-gauge standards as well. But let's see, so items needed. 6 millimeter Allen key, which it actually came with. This is a part of one of the last steps, but we'll get to that. Wood glue or glue of your choice. I'm reading over here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Blue tape or a tape of your choice. And T-Trak. I don't actually have the T-Trak. I'm going to do something a little different with this module, something that, in addition to being able to connect it to other T-Trak modules, it'll serve a purpose for me as well. Yes, and as Trains and TCG says, the point is basically that these will just sit on a folding table. Oh, I guess I should have looked. So here's the assembly instructions. Wipe laser dust from edges before gluing. This is how it glues together. There's, yeah, so that's the instructions. If you want to know how to do this correctly, I highly recommend that you go watch somebody else's video. If you want to see how I do it, keep watching. Everyone doesn't bring their own folding table. Generally, when you go to events, the event provider, or whatever you want to call it, provides the tables. You just kind of put in and you say, you know, I need this many tables. So let's see, I've got 2 pieces here that are not the same length. I got a piece here that is the same length as one of these, and this is the same length as these. So I got 2 of one length, 1 of another length. So it looks like we got pieces here. These are the little feet. I don't know what this is. We'll figure that out later. This is all of the hardware. And when you buy a kit from Klawndyke, he uses child labor, and he has his kids put together this package for him. I don't know if I should be saying that out loud, but yeah. So Paul wants to know, am I missing a side? No. So this goes here. and this goes here, and each one of these goes here. And Bob's your uncle, and I'm done. So they are terrible, guaranteed to be the same height as everyone brings shims. So this little package here, and we'll as always, Dennis from Otter Creek is jumping forward to the end, and he won't just let the process play out. These here are the adjustable feet. So if the tables are a little bit wonky, these adjustable feet will allow you to adjust the modules. But first, before we get to this and this, let's get to building these. Just because we're lucky, all the little parts you don't need are also included, and you just need to push them out from all of the holes. Of course, it's probably better if you have a tiny bit more space than what I have right here, so that you're not working on top of yourself, because the last thing that you want to do is glue something together that shouldn't be glued together. All right, who knows what I do next? Look, it even says, I don't know which direction this goes, in this direction. Klawndyke.com. Yeah, yeah. By the time I'm done building it, that is probably very correct. Okay, so this one here with the hole, for those of you who don't know, this is so that you can stick your finger through the hole. No, this is where the power is going to come into the module. So when it's sitting on the ground, power can come in underneath. So this is going to be the front. This is going to be the back. These are the corners that I don't need. Okay, I had 4 corners earlier, and now I only have 3 corners. This is going great so far. So we're going to start with 1 corner. Let's get this out of the way. I watched Sean from Klawndyke actually put his together. I'm going to do it slightly differently. I think a little bit of why I'm doing it slightly differently is because of the amount of space. Yeah, we're not going to follow the directions completely. We don't need them. We don't need instructions. Never deal with instructions. Okay, so wood glue. I probably haven't used this in a while, so we're gonna have to, scrape off the part we don't need, and we are going to put glue in here. So what's happening is this is the corner. This is going to go in and make up the corner, and then the leg that we have is eventually going to go into this. So, okay, so we're going to glue this, and we're going to put copious amounts of glue on here. Put copious amounts of glue on there. So this is going to go in there like that, and then this is going to go together like that. So you got to put the glue on the right side. So the glue on this side goes here. The glue on this side goes here. Put on as much glue as you want. Yeah, I'm probably going to mess it up. Should make them to snap together. So most people probably aren't going to screw this up as bad as I'm going to screw it up. So it's probably really not necessary. So what's great, if you buy a kit, if you buy a really good T-Trak module kit, which I will say this one, in my experience, is really good. The tolerances of how everything go together are really good. So that's where the tape comes in. All you need to do to put together a T-Trak module is a little wood glue and some blue tape. In the T-Trak world, we're going to call this clamping tape, because what I'm going to do is I am going to use it as a clamp to perfectly clamp the corner. And I just put one piece in, and I'm just trying to make sure that I've got it square. One of the things you do want to do is make things, well, When I say square, like it's a rectangle, but you guys know what I mean. Okay, so we're going to do this corner next. Can you see that corner? Okay. And you don't need to work like too fast, but you do kind of want to, like get things kind of together. So this is the wrong piece. This is not the right piece. This is the right piece. Okay. So they're all like slotted, right? So like part A goes into part B goes into part C goes into part D, and there's actually there's no ABCD. There's actually no ABCD. I'm just kind of making all that up as I go, but we're going to put some glue on this one, and I just put way too much glue on there. What's great about wood glue is just get it on your fingers. It's nice and messy and lots of fun. But again, in my experience, this kit in particular, this goes in here. The thing I'm trying to do now is keep it in the camera view and not dump it onto the floor. Oh, geez. And now I'm getting glue into the hair on my arm, and I don't know if anybody just saw what happened, but I got glue on this part of my arm by bumping into the glue. And then I wiped it off and then did the same exact thing a second time. I don't know. Like, what is wrong with me? Does anybody know? Are there any psychologists in the chat that could explain what's wrong with me? All right, so squeeze it together. I try and like clean up some of the squeeze out just to make sure. And I am going to use our blue clamping tape, and we're gonna get this. We're gonna keep going. Yeah, things are, you know, I don't know that I want to ask this group, Ed. But, you know, at some point in my life, I think it would be kind of interesting to know. So if you want to do this correctly, probably one of the really smart things to do would be to do what's called a dry fit. If you watch any woodworking YouTube channels, they will do a dry fit before they just randomly assemble everything. I highly recommend it. It's a good thing to do. I'm cleaning up the glue here on the feet just so when I flip it back over, it all works out well. We're gonna flip this over. Okay, so now we got one corner. The good news is, if we roll this over, so Dennis is asking, don't you have bar clamps? I do have bar clamps. I actually have, squeeze clamps. I have squeeze clamps. I have 24-inch squeeze clamps, and I initially bought 24-inch squeeze clamps when I was putting T-Trak modules together back in the day. And here's the thing. I got significantly better results using my blue clamping tape than I did using squeeze clamps. If you buy or get a good kit, it's just well done. And once you get all the pieces together, the blue tape, the alignment of the pieces and parts that you get with the blue tape is better, at least for me. I mean, it's, you know, it's better than what I was able to get. Okay, so now what we're gonna do here, let me just show. Here's a nice detail. So, where's the darn camera? There's the camera. So if you look at this block, right? This is a great little detail that I actually haven't seen on any of the other T-Trak modules. If you notice, this one here is smaller than this one, right? So if, you know, some moron like me is putting this together, it won't fit in the wrong way. It'll only fit in the right way. And I think that's a nice little detail with these little feet that basically make it so that somebody like me doesn't mess up. And I appreciate that because I am prone to messing up. I would go almost as far as saying, if anybody can mess something up, it would be me. Just because I am an expert at it. You know what I probably should have done? I probably should have gone and gotten the gotten my other T-Trak modules out. If you go and look through, if you click on my channel, and you don't need to do it right this second, but if you go and you clicked on my channel and you looked at my most popular videos on the channel, you would see that the most popular videos on this channel were the T-Trak videos that I made way back in the day. So I made a couple of wood ones, and I made a couple of foam ones that were a joint venture between Kato and Woodland Scenics. Wasn't a huge fan of the foam ones, just as far as like durability goes, but I like these wooden ones a lot. So Dennis says they're 14 by 12. I think they're more like 13 by no, I guess they are. They're 14. I was wrong. I thought they were 13 deep. But yeah, I guess they're technically they're in metric. Ray Ron, the Ice Dragon, says that is actually how he found me. Has he talked about Upload Express yet? No, I completely forgot the name of Upload Express. I asked if there were any prototypical modelers in the chat that could post the information, and Dennis number 2 said I am not a prototypical modeler because you know, only weirdos are prototypical modelers, but I am qualified to answer the question, and I already messed up. So the one thing about using clamping tape is sometimes while you're trying to get the other corners in, you skew the other corners. Part of why you want to get this together in at least somewhat of a, I don't want to say quick, but you know. So I have a great idea. I don't know if Ray from Around the Clock is here, but if anybody knows Ray, what I think would be a really great series for Ray is basically a series called The Mind of a Prototypical Modeler. When I went out to Bay Rails for an op session, I met a couple of prototypical modelers. One of them being fairly well known, a couple of others, you know, being, you know, friends and whatnot of that person. But basically the prototypical modelers finish layouts. And the reason prototypical modelers finish layouts is because they are following a prototype. And when you're following a prototype, you know, once you finish it, you're done. Okay, so let's see. Just to summarize, I got the little feet. These are the little feet mounts. We got all the sides in, and the sides are taped. So we got that. So the only thing left as far as the structure goes, so we still have the feet to go, but the only thing left to, yeah, free typical. That's good. That's good. I like that. The only thing left to do is to put the top on. Another amazing detail on this kit, he's actually put in what the Kato part numbers are, drilled holes for where the wires would go to feed the tracks. The only thing you need to kind of remember to do, and Tammy, I 100% agree with you on that, and I am proud to be one of the weirdos. You want the track side, so the track side of a T-Trak module wants to be towards the front of the module. So the back of the module is where your, if I can show it, where the hole would go for the wiring to come in, right? So if I turn this way, so the hole's in the back, the track side wants to be towards the front. And I don't know if you guys saw what happened, but I knocked the tape on the floor over on that side. I picked up the tape off the floor, and then I knocked the tape on the floor again. So right now the tape is on the floor. What I am doing, as I said before, is I'm doing like a little just dry fit on the top, because if I put a bunch of glue on and then the top doesn't fit, that's going to be a problem. And it's a tight fit. You can see very, very tight fit on here. And I probably should have waited to tape the corners until after I got this all put in here. But, you know, we're going to make it work. We're going to, let's see. Okay, yeah. There you go. Look at that, see? I figured that out all on my own. I figured out that if you flip it over and put the flat part on a flat surface, that it's much easier to get the not flat part onto the flat surface. I don't know, it's almost like, you know, magic sometimes. All right, so now let's glue this in. Isn't like a mallet isn't that a type of locomotive from the UK? I don't have one of those, but if I did, okay, so we know this fits, we know the orientation it goes in. We are going to put some glue on. Now, like, you could glue every surface. I'm actually not gluing every surface. I'm just gluing the top surface. It really is more than enough glue to have this all hold together. I tend to like to overboard on the glue, but you know, you don't really need to, I guess, unless you like really want to. But you know, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. Mallard is the UK. I think mallet is US. I think you're right. Bravo, Heath. Job done. I'm not done yet. I am not done yet. Don't clap yet. Things are not together yet. Yeah. So we got glue squirting out. We don't have this seated yet. We're gonna flip this over here. We're gonna use the method that I learned, and I'm gonna wipe this glue off and wipe the glue off the table, because I did just get glue on it from the table. So the last thing to do is we're gonna go back to our handy dandy clamp. The mallet. Oh, the mallet is a French standard. So we're just gonna clamp this together with the blue tape. And again, I like the blue tape. I think it I think you get better results with the blue tape than you do with clamps. Just with the tolerances being as good as they are. You know, and blue tape's cheaper, right? I mean, if you need to go out and buy clamps, buying blue tape is definitely easier. Dennis, I am definitely not articulate, so if you're talking about me, I would not ever use the term articulate to describe my use of language. Yeah, John, so this doesn't involve painting, so you don't need the better tape. You could probably get away with just using, what is that called? Masking tape, because, you know, yeah, but as Paul says, the beauty of it is how simple it is. And I don't know, I didn't read this in the directions, but because I tend to get things glued together and get things stuck. Now that I've got the top down, the top is going to kind of hold this in place. So I'm actually going to remove the tape on the corners because I believe at this point the glue on the corners is probably set enough to hold it together. It might not, you know, if I took a hammer to it, I could probably break through the wood glue. But I think it's one of those, you know, points that it is good enough. Yeah, blue tape does leave less residue than masking tape. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so we got the tape off the four corners. I'm going to leave the tape on the top just a little bit longer, but I do want to get to the adjustable feet because several people were asking about the adjustable feet. But since Thomas showed up, I'm going to take a really, really quick detour. So don't go anywhere. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Thomas, track magic. This is what I'm talking about, just so you can see it. That's all. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Why do I have such a hard time saying regularly? I mean, it's a hard word to say. Okay, so Bob wants to know what are the perforations for. Bob, I'm assuming what you're talking about are these lines here. These lines are where the track goes. The way you would typically attach track to the module are using the screws on the bottom of the Unitrack. So, yeah, other Thomas. So the, you would screw them in from the bottom, and then at the junction, Unitrack sells a joiner with wires attached to it. So at the junctions where the hole is, the wires would go down through. And part of the T-Trak standard is that you wire each track. So these perforations, as you call them, are for that. What the hole in the corner is for is where we're getting with these guys, if I can open them. The reason for the holes in the corners is it just gives the feet, the little threaded foot thingy, just a little extra room if it needs to come up through it. But to put the feet on, what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over, and the feet actually go in from the bottom. So we are going to do this from the bottom. And Sean, if you're still here, I told Sean I would keep bugging him about this. Basically, I'm going to hold him hostage until he makes the Hellgate module that we're talking about. Oh, top holes for the Allen key. Is this the wrong size Allen key? Oh, the Allen key is for this. Gotcha. There's a little Allen key slot in this, so when this is in there. Gotcha. So this is your foot, right? And if you notice, I have 5 feet, but there are only 4 holes. So why do I have 5? Well, I'm actually supposed to have 8 because I did a little switcheroo on everybody. This is the module we actually just put together. This is a module I put together this afternoon so that I had a clue as to what I'm doing. So I need 8 feet, and I seem to only have 5. So Sean, if you want to talk about that, if you want to explain why there are only 5 feet, I will let you explain. If not, I will just keep harping on it. No, actually, it's not spare parts. I actually need 8 total. You know, 4 for each module. But let's go. We're gonna get at least. Do you practice all the streams beforehand? No. No, I don't practice all the streams ahead of time. I don't know why I put together that other one. I've put together a bunch of these, so I don't know why. I don't know. I don't think I really needed to do it. I guess I just did it. Here's another little detail. I don't know if you guys can see it if I hold it in the right spot. There's a K on the feet. These are 3D printed. He 3D prints them. Yeah, so there are a bunch of different modules. Actually, if you go to Klawndyke's website, you can see all the different modules. What we're building today is what's called a single module. They have singles, doubles, triples, and quads. Basically, it's just this width and then, you know, doubled and whatever. They make corner ones. You can get bridge modules. You can get filler modules. You can get inside corners. You can get outside corners. You can get all kinds of stuff. So if we take the feet right now and we drop them in, if you notice, not very adjustable, but that's where these little honky donkeys come in. So this little honky donkey is going to go in here, and that's what this is for. So part of the reason why I did this ahead of time is that sometimes if you go to put these in before the glue is dried, as we talked about, you know, you can kind of mess up your corner a little bit, but basically this is going to go in the corner here. Yeah, so yeah, it's a threaded insert, metal threaded insert, and then you just take your little foot and you hopefully just screw the little foot in, hopefully without me messing anything up. So as you can see from this leg, I mean, you've got quite a bit of adjustment. I don't know that I've ever been to an event where it's ever required that much adjustment, but yeah. I love walking a tightrope without a net. I think it's probably it's a lot of fun. It's a good way to do it. It's you learn something, you know, you learn something. You get to bring people along for the learning experience because, you know, some of these things, especially modeling, can be a little complicated, and, you know, we learn and we teach each other, and I think showing kind of the, you know, the new builds. Oh, I just realized I actually kind of cracked the glue when I did that, I think. You know, showing the learning part of it, I think, is a good thing. Could you see it with, did you have to use the telescope, or could you see it without the telescope? Don says our club standard is to be able to adjust a module from 2.5 inches table to track to 4 inches table to track. That way we can have a level layout across the most uneven tables. And yeah. Andy says, I learned something from every one of your streams. And I'm going to give Andy a hard time and say that Andy learned something from every one of my streams that he doesn't fall asleep during. Andy will text me every once in a while at the end of one of my streams and go, oh no, I fell asleep during your stream. Yes, Andy. I'm giving you a hard time. Oh, bare eyes. Oh, that's pretty cool. Dennis, I didn't realize your eyesight was that good that you can see the ISS going by. Yeah, exactly, JD. I think learning what not to do in a lot of cases is just as important as learning what to do. And if I can provide the what not to do, I am more than happy to provide that. It's actually pretty bright. Oh. Sometimes I wake up because the laptop screen hits me in the face at 2 a.m. Well, if you didn't fall asleep. It's actually pretty bright when it's not totally washed out with light pollution. Yeah, I definitely am not going to be able to see it from down here. But yeah, so that's it. And then we've got one more to go on this module. So I have 2 modules. So what in the heck am I planning to do with these modules? So my plan with these modules is, and I've talked about this before, you know, I wanna test scenery ideas, right? So I'm gonna test some scenery ideas on these little guys, and then what I'm gonna do for these is I'm not gonna use Kato Unitrack for the entire module. I'm gonna use Kato Unitrack for the very end pieces, and then internally, between the two Kato Unitrack ends, I am going to use just the regular Pico track that I use on my layout, and then that will allow me to test some scenery ideas for my layout. I'll probably primarily be focused on things like you know, ground cover and that sort of thing, because that's kind of where I'm at right now. Apparently Conrail 1285 has a hacked Unistrut video. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize it because, you know, Unistrut's a completely different thing. Unitrack is just sort of like a thing, you just snap it together, but you can actually adjust Unitrack. Essentially what you're doing is you cut the center out of the Unitrack. So you don't cut the ends off, you cut the center out of the middle. And it actually works really, really well. I've done it a couple times. But this is basically what the T-Trak module looks like. And I don't know if you can see, but mine's rocking because I don't have the ends adjusted. But as Klawndyke pointed out, you can stick the adjustment tool, which is I think it's I don't know what size hex it is, but you stick it through the hole here and you can adjust it from the top. So I think that's a nice detail of these. Oh wait, you know what? Oh, it sits much better when I don't have it sitting on an Allen key. Now it's actually flat. I was like, I couldn't believe I had it that far off. So I have all these pieces and parts. As you guys can see, I have 4 threaded inserts. I have 4 of the adjustable legs, and I have 1 foot. Sean, if you're still here, if you want to explain why I only have 1 foot, I will use this as one more opportunity to give you a hard time. So now we go back to the one that I actually did during the stream. And this is, I mean, this is all it takes, right? I mean, we are already going to take the tape off. As I said again, like, I wouldn't suggest like running them over with your car or anything like that. Dennis says, Ed designed adapters with unijoiners on the ends that lets foot track or other non-roadbed track plug into Unitrack. Oh, does he sell those adapters? I don't know. Allen key, what they call it up north. Yeah, Allen key, hex keys. Who knows? Why is this called an Allen key? Does anybody know? Did a guy named Allen invent it? I don't know why it's called an Allen key. Now that I've gone down that rabbit hole and said that, I don't know. Uh-oh. Sean says, look out for something cool. So I'm just giving Sean a hard time just because I can, not for any other reason. He makes a really, really cool bridge module. And I was on one of his streams and I was like, oh, can you do the Hellgate? Because there are like 3 printable STL files and stuff online for the Hellgate. And he was kind of like, huh, I don't know. Let me check. Allen Manufacturing of Hartford. Interesting. There you go. I believe it is, it's definitely not MDF. I believe it is hardwood. Oh, well, so Lynn has a different answer. Allen keys are named after their inventor, William G. Allen. Are you making that up? I don't even know anymore. Hex key, Allen wrench, all the same in my head. Yep, I agree. I would not call this a wrench, I guess. I think of wrenches, I don't think of those as wrenches. But I guess I guess you could. I know, Barry. It's all so I already pre-warned Sean beforehand. I already told him that I was going to give him a hard time. Therefore, I feel like if you warn somebody that you're going to give them a hard time, it's okay to give them a hard time. I'm just poking fun. Like I'm not really giving a hard time. Heath, it's actually treated MDF. Really? It's not hardboard? I can't believe this is MDF. The grain structure of this just seems way too tight to be MDF. I would think it is a like an HDF, if anything, a high density fiberboard, not a low density fiberboard. You've never heard this called an Allen key? Wow. Where do you live, Dennis? Oklahoma? Semantics. It is all semantics at the end of the day. Possibly HDF or something. Yeah, so I do know that some people used to make, or some people probably still do, they used to use Baltic birch plywood, 1/8 inch Baltic birch. The problem is that during the showstopper, Baltic birch got extremely expensive. I know like CMR Products, for example, who made all of my other T-Trak modules, actually ended up not making T-Trak modules anymore because the cost of the materials just got to be too much. Barry says at one point it was maple plywood as well. Do you live in the soda or the pop belt? I live in the soda belt. I don't know why that didn't pop up. I definitely live in the soda belt. Oh yeah, Dave. That's true too. I have heard it called soda pop as well. That is also a very common use of it. Adam says my rulers are a testament. Birch and maple tend to warp. Interesting. Adam, what do you use? Are you using a an HDF? Let's see. Can I pull? If people don't know, these are the rulers that Adam's talking about that he makes. These are weight rulers. Basically, these grooves here, you can put a car on it, and you line the car up with this end, and depending where the end of the car is, it tells you based on the NMRA information how much the car should weigh. And the weights are basically there because it helps keep the cars on the track and helps keep things from string lining. So, yeah. What kind of Coke do you prefer? That is true. Adam says he's trying to move to MDF. Interesting. I'm surprised so many people are using MDF. Maybe I am misunderstanding what MDF is, but I always thought this was high density fiberboard, not medium density fiberboard. But, you know, I don't know. David from DB Tech, also known as Dragon Ball, says, I found both the answers, William Allen and Allen Manufacturing. Possum Bias says, my modules are all birch. I should go check. I'm kind of curious to go check the comparison between my older modules and my and these newer modules. I feel like the quality and the tolerances with this high density fiberboard is definitely much higher. I'm gonna try and not lose these. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna call this done. So I've got these two done. I need to clean up because, of course, anytime I do a project in here, I seem to make a mess. So there's stuff on the floor, and I got to get my work office back in here because, unfortunately, my boss is gonna want me to work tomorrow. I don't know why, but they're paying me, they want me to work. It's just kind of the way it is. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the antics and maybe learned a little something about T-Trak modules, maybe became interested in them. Who knows? From the city that never sleeps, farewell, model citizens.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.